Okay. If you want to go ahead, Nitesh, and just start the call and start updating everyone, it's fine. Maybe John is going to make it on the line and also Barry.
Absolutely.
But I think we should.
I'm here.
Okay, Barry, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, very good. And what about John?
I think he's working on it right now. But either way, I think we have limited time, and I want to keep the call short anyway. Plus, it sounds like it's only a matter of time before this call collapses. So I really want to get to the meat and bones of everything and get people all the information they've been waiting for and where we are headed and so on. Unfortunately, we've had, and I'm very open about that. And part of that is just, we have so much development going on, so much work we've been putting in the background. So I want to give everybody an address of where we are at the moment. Okay. So we went live in our first 2 weeks. Despite all the issues that we have had, obviously we've tried to address everything as quickly as possible. But in the first 2 weeks, with no replicated sites or affiliate links made live, and we didn't make those live on purpose, we have a lot of focus on making sure that we are compliant every step of the way. There were certain issues brought to our attention. We wanted to make sure everything was addressed beforehand. And even with all of those obstacles along the way, this first pay run that's actually currently being calculated and will be in everybody's approved balances on the 3rd is already a 7-figure commission run, which is a pretty good accomplishment, I think, for a company that just started out with just a very limited pre-launch without having to go out there and build a big buzz about it. I think one of the very basic reasons for why that has happened is the core concept behind this. Our concept is just so unique compared to every other company out there that it draws people to itself. It's all about the mass market. It's all about what does the average user want. And the average user does not want to be a recruiter. So here is the great news. In our first 2 weeks, we've had 7 figures worth of commissions generated, but at the same time, we've had thousands of people literally making money purely on e-commerce side without any recruitment at all. And that's something that's very, very important because that's what shows true retail marketability of what INFINii has. That's what shows the true potential of what INFINii has going forward. So what happens sometimes is we are all used to looking at this program and comparing it to a standard MLM and saying, oh, there are all these issues, make the average customer happy or something like that. In fact, we've been getting testimonials every single day from people making a lot of money on the e-commerce side. We had a user who just made $400 their first day in net profit. We had another user just made 8 sales on their first day, purely on the e-commerce side without recruitment. And I think that's a very, very strong testament to what we have and what we are building. Now, a lot of the technical issues that we have come across are issues that we're hitting up, one, because we have a vast number of users in here. I mean, it's incredible. We have tens of thousands of users in here already. But on top of that, this is literally the first run of everything. The first time many of these things are coming out. So as well as we have done on the e-commerce side for a long time, this is the first run of this particular system. And this is somewhat expected. It happens at times. Even so, we know for a fact that everybody's approved balances will be there on the 3rd. Everything will work out fine. This is not our first rodeo. We've done this many times before. And it's just a matter of being a little patient and us being a little bit better at our communications, which we're working on, which is why we have this call right now and why we will have calls nearly every day going forward. So I wanted to get that out of the way to just show you guys what has happened. While many might be focused on, oh, there are these issues, or what about this and what about that, in reality, the average customer is making money, which is incredible, and that's something that we should be very proud of. Now, on top of that, over the past 2 weeks, we have our forums ready. We had to go a very inefficient route with the Springboard side of things in the beginning. We had to collect manual NDAs that had to be done from a compliance standpoint. It was very critical for us to do so, which, as you can imagine, is kind of a pain. We had, about 5,000 NDAs were submitted in the first 48 to 54 hours, which really stressed our support desk, stressed a lot of different things, but it was a legal necessity for us to do it that way. So we did. And you know what? Our team made through it. We are all caught up on the help desk side, and now our response rates are coming down below 36 hours. Our aim is to have it below 24 hours. We've set up a dedicated phone line for billing support for any of you who want that. And we've also set up a dedicated support line for leaders. For those of you who have updates that you need for your teams, that want information for your teams, we have a dedicated support line we're setting up specifically for that. We have trained some people for that. We have brought on a lot of very strong talent who have worked in other companies before, who have helped steer the other companies before in the right direction. And we brought them on board. They're working with us as well. Now, all of that will take care of the structural issues and making sure that we roll out really well. But the specific thing that I really want to talk about is the success of the members and what are they actually doing to have that success. The average person who is doing really well in INFINii right now on the e-commerce side, all they're doing is going in there, watching their Prime, Surge, or Excel training videos. It takes less than an hour to finish your Prime training videos. And then they're using either the ALC, or if they're using other methods, they're using the manual listing, but they're using the advanced listing creator system to create their listings. We can see our logs, and we are seeing tens of thousands of listings have been created already, so we know people are actively using it, and they're doing really, really well with it. That's really the average person who's having success. That's literally what they're doing. They're watching the videos, they're using the tools, and they're having the results that they're having. And we have 2 years of data to know that this is what we expect. On this side of things, we have 3 categories of products. If you go there right now, we actually explain what the 3 categories of products are, how that works. And many people were a little confused, it appears, because they thought they had to get their products within a certain time frame, and you don't. It doesn't matter if you get your products that are available to you in the first 5 days of your month, or get them in the 5 days. It literally does not make a difference because your products renew when the next. So you don't have to worry about that near as much as you have been. We have just an incredible amount of products coming up there. We have just been very, very cautious about making sure that we do this the right way. With the third-party products that we're loading up right now, you need some due diligence. You need to make sure these products are good. We're recording a video series specifically for it, and we have just an incredible number of products coming up. I've actually shown the list of products to certain leaders, and they're all just very eagerly waiting for that. So that's great. But the average person, the average user who is making money right now and will continue to make money are basically people coming in who are told in 3 steps, here's what you do. Step 1, log in and watch the training videos. Step 2, create your listings. And step 3, scale up to Search or to Excel and continue scaling your business with it. That's literally all you have to do. And I'm sure John, if he's available on here, can share some of the specific results we have received from our members, which are unsolicited, by the way. We haven't been asking for that. There's one more thing that I want to address, which is regarding our back office. The back office that we have right now is obviously not something that we plan on being a long-term thing. This is the core skeletal structure where we want to make sure that everything on the inside is solid. We have a very different methodology for building things out. Most companies out there begin with the marketing, and then they try to fill in the hollow space in the middle. Okay, they start with the outer packaging. They have a very nice site, they have a very pretty site, they have great marketing, and then you find out everything is hollow inside. What we are trying to do is make sure that we have everything solid inside first. By the time we come out of December, we're going to have a few hundred testimonials from people who have already been making money. That was one of the focuses of making sure that we were out there in December, because December, January are very, very big months for e-commerce in general. So that was one of our aims, make sure that we are out there in December, that people can access this training, people can start building their business. What we did is went to that site. We actually have a brand new website that's going to be coming out that's very functional. It's pretty and all that stuff. But most importantly, we're only doing that understanding that we have the core things already taken care of. All of the issues that we wanted to take care of, all of the bugs that we knew would probably creep up when you're building a system for a large user base, we wanted to address those first. And we are addressing those very, very quickly right now. And I promise you, we literally do not sleep if we have work to do. We literally don't do anything except taking care of our members, because that is literally the top priority for us. There's nothing else right now above making sure that our members are well taken care of. Another thing that we did for that is we set up our own internal forum so people could be helped better. And we're also going to be starting weekly coaching calls so people who have questions, who have issues, can jump on those calls and actually get specific help for them. Let's say you're international, let's say you're in the Philippines, and you're trying to sell in e-commerce world and you're having certain challenges, you can get on the call and you can ask those questions and have an expert walk you through it. So those are, a lot of the things that have been happening. at the moment, and we're actually moving very quickly on it and getting it done very quickly as well. I think really at the end of the day, what we need to remember is how different this model as a whole is compared to what has existed out there so far. We are going to make sure that we have very high converting replicating websites out there for you. One of our main goals is to make sure that it converts very well, that nobody loses money, and at the same time it's very compliant, so nobody has any issues going forward. We're going to get that done, and we will let you guys know when it's time for it. But it's worse for us to put those out there and then have to roll those back or find that they don't convert. It's much better for us to take our time and make sure that these are converting well and make sure that these go well. And despite not having replicated websites, which I'm sure all of you agree are the basic building blocks for most companies out there, we are seeing thousands of people joining every day. We are seeing thousands of people succeeding every single day. And it's just working so well for the average user right now that that's what you have to keep your focus on. This is the main thing that sets INFINii apart from everything else, the success of the average person without recruitment. Now, one other thing that I really want to talk about quickly, which there has been some confusion about, is a lot of people have come in and had the assumption that they have to buy products up front from Springboard before they can actually make money in e-commerce. And I really want to address that because somewhere along the way that message got a bit unclear. The average person who comes into INFINii and starts using the e-commerce platform does not need to buy any products, does not need to hold any stock, does not need to ship anything at all. There are actually no upfront costs when they begin selling with INFINii, because the first thing they do when they go through the Prime training, the method they use for arbitrage basically means that you actually after they have sold, so you don't have those upfront costs in that same way. I really want to make sure that everybody on this call understands, if you have not yet done so, go through Prime and watch the training videos so you understand what you're actually working with. You understand what you're actually doing. A lot of the leaders, I want to make sure you have actually gone through the training videos. And another thing that we really encourage everyone to do is send us your feedback. Tell us, hey, this video was not super clear to me. What can I do there? And we'll make sure that we make it clearer for you. In fact, we've already made significant updates in the videos themselves to make sure things are clearer and easier to understand and easier to follow along. So at this point, what we really need to do, as in if John is here, John, are you on here right now? Okay, it looks like he hasn't made it on yet. But either way, I was hoping that I could have John go through some of the specifics of how well people have been doing and how you can replicate those results. I also want to talk a little bit about how well the partners have been doing and how partners can continue building out with this. And one of the key components of that is going to be the weekly calls that we run. We're going to be running minimum 3 calls every week where we're going to address a lot of things. We're going to also have separate opportunity calls where you're welcome to invite other people if you would like. But all of this core that we've built in right now, it's a matter of maybe another 3 weeks for us to get everything really straightened out, everything running very smoothly, and everything running in a very high converting manner for those who are online marketers, running really well in a very trustworthy and integrous manner for those who are offline builders. And you guys are going to see tremendous results, and for the first time hopefully get to hear that when you recruit somebody, they don't turn around and say, well, I lost a bunch of money doing this thing. They're hopefully going to come back and say, thank you for introducing me to this because of how well I'm doing on eBay, because of how well I'm doing on Amazon, because of how well I'm doing on all of these other things within the INFINii system. So, Barry, I'm sure you're on here. I'm sorry you had to wait for a bit, but if you want to share some of your thoughts from your experience and what you have seen, that would be very welcome.
Oh, great. I'd love to. I was just on Skype with John, and I guess the call was so full he was locked out and couldn't get in. So he was trying to get in. But in my 32 years of network marketing, I've assembled a great team here that I've never been able to assemble in any other program. It's not easy to sign up people like Ricardo, 7-figure earners. As a matter of fact, I have several of those types of 7-figure earners on my team. Many of my team leaders have done the same. So I know we have a super smash hit. It has a huge attraction factor. This thing is so easy to build, and I've just never seen this before. And I know that everyone who could stay the course with us here is in for a home run. And this thing, we're going to take this thing around the world, and I'm just thrilled to be here. With that being said, maybe back to you, Ricardo.
Yeah, absolutely, Barry. Thank you so much. Same thing here. I echo what Barry just said. It's a very, very easy business to build because of the attraction factor and because it's very easy to understand how big it can be and how fast it can run. And that's why we are so excited. I just wanted to Hitesh to come back here for a second and maybe elaborate a little bit more on the Springboard, exactly what is available and what is not available, and give us a little bit more of an expectation on when is at what point of development the full functionality of that particular feature is. And also, Hitesh, if you can please address the pay run, which I think it's effectuating within the next few days. If you can give us an update on those two issues, we'll really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I'll hopefully be able to do you one better and address a couple of the fun things about it along the way. So first thing, let me address Springboard. And if you guys, those of you who have access right now, you should go back there and you'll be able to see there's a description that I wrote out and I just put in there that explains there are 3 different types of products within Springboard. And you will be able to read all about it. You can understand it in much better detail. And we'll also be putting out a video actually explaining all of the internal process of what happens behind the scene, what your expectations should be from each product in Springboard and so on. Essentially, all Springboard is you guys are selecting certain products, and our warehousing is used for it, and we send the product off to Amazon where the product can then be sold. Now, the fun twist on this is that there are 3 types of products. There is one specific category of Springboard products, which we call INFINii's own FBA products. This is where our team of experts goes out there, we select the products, we figure out which products are good, we negotiate with the manufacturers, and bring those in. So that's the strong benefit of that. The great thing is that for those of you who do not have Amazon accounts or your international, things like that, you can basically leverage that and start using that while you're still building up the rest of your e-commerce business. The downside of Springboard, which I feel like nobody ever talks about it, I'm very open about it. I like talking about downsides of things because it sets the right expectation. The downside of Springboard compared to the standard procedure in INFINii is when you have to purchase these products up front, right? You're paying for these products first, then we are bringing the product in, then we are sending the product to Amazon, then it's going to sell, and that's how you will earn income on that. Now, this is a longer process, and you're actually putting up the cost first. On the other hand, when you do the standard process that we teach of arbitrage in INFINii, when you go to INFINii Prime or to Search or to Excel, when you learn that training, what we teach you there and what our ALC listing system does for you, all of that has one significant benefit over the Springboard. The benefit is that you don't pay for product upfront. You don't have to wait for the manufacturer to send the product in and so on. You're actually literally picking up products that already exist, that are already available in the marketplace, and you're just having those products be sold first. And so imagine the beauty of it. Everybody has heard, right? Everybody says, what is the way to make money? And everybody will tell you the way to make money is buy low and sell high, right? That's the classic saying. Here's what INFINii does instead. INFINii says, guys, do this instead. Sell high first and then buy low. Let's eliminate the risk altogether if we can. So what you do with INFINii's basic training system is you actually go out there and you create a listing. Your product first will sell at a profit, and then you purchase the product in the background. That's a very unique method of business, a very, very unique method of business, which almost there's almost no other concept that can actually mimic that. So that's what makes it so unique and so strong, and that's why even when we had the first hangout, I explained very detailed manner. I explained that most of you who are just starting out on e-commerce, and I'm guessing about 70% of people on this call have not done e-commerce yet. For those who are just starting out, you want to start at Prime. That's what it's there for. It's going to help you get in the world of e-commerce without upfront costs or significant costs. It's going to do it very, very quickly. In many cases, our members make sales within their first day or a first week and so on. So that's where you want to begin. On Springboard side, a lot of you will get a much better understanding if you actually go through the Prime and Excel training on selling on Amazon. And now you will get a much better view anyway because of what we have done in the Springboard system. One of the other issues that I addressed before is many people said, well, the quiz is too hard. The quiz that is available now to get automated access to Springboard is too hard. So what we have done for that is if you go there now, there's an actual video that explains and walks you through the entire quiz and gives you answers to everything. So it makes it a lot more, it makes it a lot easier for you. The idea behind that quiz is to help you understand the basics of how e-commerce works. So when you're purchasing products from Springboard, you know which products will be the best selection, you know what to expect with those products and so on. So that's one of the key aspects behind the Springboard system overall. Now I also want to, kind of lift up a little bit and try and hopefully show you guys a bigger picture of how this business actually works for you. Sometimes you get so lost in the small details that you don't pay attention to the real business and how am I going to actually hit my goals, right? That's why all of you are on this call right now. Here's how you do that. First of all, you begin with the Prime training and immediately you will notice that within Prime, you have 3 sections. One section focuses on selling on eBay, and that's the section where most of you will begin. That's where you begin without any upfront cost. You sell products, then you purchase them to your easiest thing in the world, one of the lowest risk businesses in the world, an incredible way to get started in the world of making money anywhere, online or offline. That's the first thing you do. Immediately after that, you will notice the second section is paid shopping trips, which is hopefully very exciting for the 70 or 80% of the females on the phone. You basically can go shopping and earn an income while shopping, which is a complete game changer compared to what usually happens when you do this kind of stuff. So you can go to stores, you take your smartphone, and instead of playing Angry Birds on there, you can actually scan the product that you're about to purchase, and it'll tell you if the product will be profitable for you to buy or if it will be a cost to you to buy. So you can start changing your thinking. You can start purchasing things that will be an asset for you instead of a liability. So you purchase a product that shows that it's going to be profitable, you ship that product into Amazon, and Amazon will now go out there, it will sell the product on your behalf, and when the product sells, it puts the money in your bank account. And that's what our phone app does. It basically tells you how it works. And the phone app actually comes right from Amazon itself. Amazon wants you to do this. Some of the people have actually written in and said, this sounds so easy and this sounds so incredible, this must be legal. Is Amazon okay with this? The app that you're getting is actually from Amazon. It's Amazon's own app. This is what to do. Purchase these products and send those products in. So that's the other beautiful thing there. The third section is selling on the Google Shopping Network. The biggest benefit of selling on Google Shopping Network is there is no real ramp-up time. With Amazon selling, with eBay selling, there's kind of a time that you ramp up. You have a certain number of listings, you earn more listings, you start doing more, the business kind of scales up. On the Bonanza side, which is the Google Shopping Network side, that system is much, much stronger and more consistent from day one. Now, you will make a lot more money selling on eBay and Amazon compared to Bonanza, but right Bonanza, which is Google Network, than you would on eBay and Amazon. Okay, so literally all you have to do is go in your back office, click on the product navigation, go to Prime, and watch the training. It's all just on one page. It'll take you 1 hour to finish everything, okay, all 3 trainings. It comes with written instructions, it comes with video instructions to help you walk through every single aspect of it and help you start developing income. So here is the aim. 3 months from now, what should you be doing? 3 months from now, you should have a business on eBay, you should have a business on Amazon, and you should have a business network. In case you're international and you can't do stuff on Amazon or you can't do stuff on eBay, that's fine because you're still making money from Bonanza and you should move on to search by then. And in search, you're also going to learn how to sell on additional platforms, your own managed website platforms where your profit margins are even higher. And the ridiculous thing is while I'm on this call right now, I just made a sale of an aromatherapy diffuser on Shopify stores. So it's kind of nuts how automated this stuff is as well. Hitesh, can you hear me? All that too. Yep, I can hear you, John.
I actually bought that aromatherapy kit.
And it's not you, I can do with it. But anyway, it's somebody from California. Anyways, the point is, guys, everything that you need to know and everything that you need to do is right there. The average person that needs to do. Have you noticed that this entire time I haven't yet talked about, and then here's how you go to your neighbor and organize a party. Have I yet said, and here's how you go to your uncle and tell him to join your opportunity. I haven't, because the whole idea is empowerment of the average person. Just go in there, watch the videos, and you can be very well on your way to developing these massive businesses purely on the e-commerce side. Now, many of you who are not builders, who are not recruiters, who have never done this before, will be very happy there, and you will naturally want to share your results. You naturally want to tell somebody, I'm selling on eBay, I'm doing incredibly well. And you don't sound like somebody trying to scam them. You sound like somebody real. Oh, you're selling on eBay? I know eBay. Everybody knows eBay. There's no real danger there. You're not going to them and giving them some made-up word company name and saying, oh, this company is, I'm buying special coffee or special lotions from them. Everybody has certain level of resistance to it. And you don't find that resistance here. For those of you instead, which we have a ton of, by the way, it's incredible the number of 6, 7, even 8-figure earners that INFINii has already attracted. And maybe aren't even out of the beta yet. We haven't even put our website links yet. But a lot of the leaders who are on here, for you, your life is way easier, because for the first time, your team that comes in here, if they actually follow that process, and that's the key. Your job really is to bring in your teams and help them follow the process. Go to the client training, walk through that, attend the coaching classes every week, build a real business. As long as your teams actually do that, you will find the highest retention rate ever, and you will find natural duplication. You will find natural growth that you will not find in any other company. And then you will find the strongest compensation plan, the strongest payout rate that has ever existed in anything like this. So you find a whole lot better results as a team leader. And I'll tell you this one thing right now. There might be, and I say might be because I don't know everything, there might be a company out there that you can make more money with. But there is no company out there that will be more fulfilling for you to work with. Because, you won't have the average person in your company coming in and saying, I bought your $3,000 starter kit and that's sitting in my garage and I can't sell the lotion or the weight loss thing or anything like that. I can't sell that to somebody. You instead will have the average person coming to you and saying, 30 days in, I actually made my money back. I made twice my money back by selling on eBay, by selling on Amazon or whatever. It's a completely different dynamic, and you will find yourself falling in love with the idea of your team winning even without recruiting. And that's what this whole concept is about, and that's why this concept is going so viral, and why so many people are coming in, and why we are actually fighting against ourselves sometimes, trying to control it, trying to say, hang on, we could add fuel to the fire, but let's make sure this is stable for the long term. Let's make sure that this actually is going to build up to be a multi-billion-dollar company. We totally see it becoming. We already know the sales that our members make. We already know the numbers that we have. So we know what we have coming, and it's a lot better for us to be very measured and cautious and do things at the speed of right instead of the speed of light. So that's the main idea behind what's happening, and maybe John can touch on that a little bit more. The other thing that we talked about a little bit was additional platforms, the freelancing platform and the digital platform coming out within INFINii. Now, I would love to talk about it because, quite frankly, that's like my world. That's where I live. I love building stuff, and that's what I enjoy. But I don't think that's relevant right now, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. We'll bring that out. It'll be exciting, and everybody will go crazy, and we will probably have calls like this where we break the system again. But the main thing right now is you already have a system for you that is the best system that has ever existed in this industry to allow the average person to actually earn something without having to recruit anybody, having to become a salesperson, doing all of those things that you typically hate about network marketing businesses. And
so when you got a moment,
yep.
I'd like to spend a tiny bit more time on that, if you don't mind.
Sure. I don't mind, but I do want to be respectful of everybody's time. We are coming up on 34 minutes, and I do want to keep it short if possible. So that's why you're going to touch upon it, but I'm just going to finish up my whole description here by basically 3 things. One, I sincerely apologize for some of the IT issues that we've had, some of the delays that we've had. All of them have us working 18, 20 hours a day. And you're welcome to speak with anybody else in our team. I'm there all the time trying to make sure it's done. Actually, more than everybody else, you should ask my wife. She would give you a lot meaner version of it. So that's one. The second thing is many of those delays, it's not like we didn't notice them, but there are some real reasons behind the scenes for why those happen. And sometimes when you're building something that's going to be so much bigger than what has previously existed, it just works out like that. And I want you to keep that in mind. Microsoft rolls out Windows 10 and there are going to be some issues and they're going to have to release a patch. And, Apple release something and it'll usually pick your phone. I'm not a big Apple fan. I'll leave that out. My point is, have a little bit of patience. We haven't even finished our first 30 days yet. We're already a multi-million-dollar company. We're already one of the biggest companies in this industry for that. And there's a reason behind it. It's the concept. It's the honesty. It's what we have done, and we've always tried to treat people right. That's what's there. The final point is, you already have what you need. There is, in this industry especially, but in the world in general, in life in general, the media, everything else runs around constantly telling you that something big is coming, something big is around the corner, and that will change your life. And what I'm trying to tell you is, what will change your life is actually already in there. It's already available to you. You really just have to sit down and say, even this seems boring to me. For 1 hour every day, I'm going to do this boring thing because it will change my financial future. That's actually the definition of work. Work isn't something you necessarily love. Work is something you do because you have to, because you know the end result will be worth it. So this is one of the things that will be worth it. You already have it. I can spend so much time talking about the digital marketplace, the freelancing marketplace, and how much money is there, and all this stuff. And John will talk about it a little bit, because that's John's job. He's a marketing guy, so he can hype you up on it. My job is to tell you, look, guys, this is what already exists. This is what's already there. We are working very hard on everything else that needs to be there. You'll be extremely pleased with the end results, the new back office when you see it, the replicated websites when you see it, the conversion rates when you see it. All of those things will play up. It'll be wonderful. It'll be great. But until then, you do have something real. You do have your training. You do have your software. You do have all of these things that you can start working with right now and have real results with right now. So that's hopefully the summary of it. We're going to work really hard on the communication side. We've set up a system to make sure that at least 3 times a week we have a call, that we have real discussion on where we are, where we're headed. And most of the time you will see that transform from that as we come out of this pre-launch phase. You will see that convert from that into a real growth and a focus on how we're going to continue growing as a company. And you'll start seeing more of the vision being laid out instead of just, here is what we have done and here's what's been fixed. So I really thank everybody for hanging on for as long as you have. I can see that there's thousands of people on here already, and I have actually stuck through this whole speech, which is kind of a nice thing for you to do for a guy with an Indian accent. So thank you. But I'm going to pass this on to John, and he can go over some of the things and where we are. And then all I want from all of you is get back in there, watch the videos, and if you don't understand it, that's fine. Go to our head desk and tell us, I didn't understand this video really well. Can you update that? Can you do it differently? Can you make it clearer? I didn't understand this PDF or whatever. And that's what we're there for. We're going to make sure that it gets done. Okay, this is not a static organization. We are very much a living, dynamic organization. We're going to keep building the stuff. We're going to keep making it better and make sure that you get the best results possible. So, John, if you want to go ahead and finish up. I think that's pretty much it from me.
I really appreciate that. I just really wanted to take a few minutes, and please, Ricardo and Barry, stick around as well. The first thing I wanted to do, because I am the marketing guy, is I wanted to formally and officially apologize to everybody. My background is just a bit over 20 years in the network marketing industry in the field, and I love being in the field. I absolutely adore it, and I've had a very blessed life because of my ability to tour all over the world, building teams of people I love spending time with. And this is the first time that I've been where I've been taking on a corporate responsibility. And I did it deliberately. I did it with my eyes open. But at the same time, I understand that many of you are very confused, that many of you maybe feel even sold a faulty bill of goods, that many of you were exposed to INFINii only through Springboard as an automated program, and that's my responsibility. The genesis of Springboard really was to create a system for our international members to get some runs on the board right away while they were waiting a mandatory 90-day period for eBay and Amazon to accept them as international members. That was where it came from. That was really the only original purpose of it. And then we thought, well, it's really not fair of us to only make it available to one group and not another group. And it just blew up so fast with popularity that I could not have predicted it. What drew me to this company was the amazing results that I was seeing in the field with individuals building their own e-commerce businesses. Individuals that I had an opportunity to meet in Florida recently at an event that had said they had never in their life had success in network marketing, and they watched these video programs, and it changed their lives. It created income sources for them that they never ever thought that they could personally achieve before. And maybe in a sales role, they couldn't have achieved those things before. And so that was really why I decided to do what I decided to do, and I'm very excited to be here. I can absolutely vouch for the hours that are going into INFINii and the development of all of these things. I promise you that there is an awful lot going behind the scenes as far as messaging that's going to make life much easier for all of you to move your businesses forward. And I also wanted to address that there are some individuals that are operating under the belief that the videos that are inside your INFINii back office are very simple videos that don't offer much new that you couldn't find anywhere else. And I want to officially correct any of you that actually believe this is the case, because it could not be further from the truth. And if you've been informed of this, you've been informed incorrectly. This is a byproduct of 2 years of evolution. And factually, our members that are performing extraordinarily well in e-commerce are outperforming others that are not using this model by 22 times and 28 times in Amazon and eBay accordingly. That is a significant improvement over the masses that are not using our model. These videos have been compressed to a very short period of time that Hitesh has made you aware of. The videos will continue to evolve. And for those of you who are listening in from the international marketplace, we are absolutely putting together programs using Google Home Shopping Network, Bonanza, other platforms that are going to make it much, much easier for teams that are aggressively growing in other parts of the world right now to create very similar successes for themselves, because it's very important that this e-commerce model be the foundation with which we're building on. It's where the excitement is, it's where the story is, it's certainly where name recognition is. And I would just love Ricardo and Barry also to apologize.
One second. John, I'm sorry. I'm getting a notification that this call is probably very close to collapsing anyway. So I want to address one thing very quickly, and I really want to close this so we can actually let everybody know about the schedule of the upcoming next call. We're going to have the next call day after tomorrow on the 23rd. We send an email with the announcement and the exact time and so on, and hopefully we won't have any other issues if we can scale up for that. But I want to address one very important question quickly. If you log in your back offices, you're going to see that your pending balance is currently being calculated. The reason why it's taking longer than usual is that we have combined two separate pay periods in this one. Usually you will see this run every week. We're combining everything from the 4th through the 18th to get in this one. So you'll see it run a little longer. And we've also made a few adjustments in there. For one, we've completely removed any caps on the binary commissions. Okay, so usually there are caps on the binary commissions that you've seen as a partner in the reward plan. We are not incorporating those at all because you guys are building for the first time, and we want to make sure that you're rewarded appropriately. So there are no caps on the binary whatsoever. There are also quite a few changes you're going to see in the way that it's all displayed. We're going to be reporting on all the income and where it's come from, as well as all the BV generation and what it's come from. So you'll see this pending run is taking a little longer than usual. Usually you'll see it be done overnight, and then morning it should be displayed. But it does not affect that fund, that money being released onto your approved balance. So when it moves from pending to approved in 2 weeks, that will still happen on the 3rd. So even if it takes until the end of tonight or if it takes until tomorrow, that's not going to delay those funds being released to you. Okay? So what I just really want to thank everybody for is all of you leaders, all of the partners on this have done incredibly well. Like I said, I don't know of a company that started out that does not have replicated links, that does not have a website, replicated website, that is trying so hard to keep the control and the measured growth and so on, do a 7-figure pay run in their first week and a half period. I think that's very strong, and it just shows the caliber of people that we have in here. And hopefully we'll move from strength to strength. There's nothing stopping us from doing 8 figures or 9 figures even by the end of 2016 every month. So I really want to focus on that, and I want to address that question quickly. Right now, like I said, I think they are very clear. You can go in your back office, go through a training video, start building your business. As you get through this, especially when family rolls around, there's so many wonderful gifts and surprises coming for you guys that you'll be very, very pleased with where you are. I'm worried that this call is about to end. So I just want to thank John, Ricardo, and Barry for being on here as well. And I just want to thank everybody for being on here. And watch for an email from us with the next call on when you should be on. And I really, really hope that we'll get to hear from a lot of you who are on this call, that by the next call you've already started your listings on eBay or selling on Amazon, or you're shopping profitably instead of shopping and just giving money to major companies. You're actually earning from it. I'm really looking forward to hear that. So let's do that, and we'll see you guys next time.